Lecture 3, Agile Project Management Practitioner course, version 2.0. In this lecture, we would look into the effective use of the DSDM products. I've set aside roughly around 60 minutes in terms of learning, but you might take more time or lesser time depending upon your pace of learning. Now, the products, they form a very important part of the DSDM Agile Project Management Framework, as you could see summarized on this diagram on the slide. And they are kind of introduced in Chapter 8 of the visual guide. And for ease of reference, the content again is duplicated in this module. You have a similar module in the foundation course. Please keep in mind that not all products are required for every project, and the formality associated with each product does vary from project to project and from organization to organization. The formality of the products is influenced by factors such as contractual relationships, corporate standards, and government needs. Now, DSDM identifies two distinct types of products. One is evolutionary products, which are products that evolve over time. They typically, but not always, span a number of project phases and may be baselined more than once during that time. And then you have the milestone products, which are created in a phase and typically fulfill a specific purpose within that particular phase as a checkpoint or to facilitate governance process. So on this particular diagram, the products and where they feature in the project lifecycle are shown. Orange products are business-focused. Green products all contribute to the solution being created by the project. And blue products, they cover project management / control interests. Now, several of the products, those marked with G, may also play a part in the governance processes, such as approval gateways, and may be used to demonstrate compliance of the solution with corporate and regulatory standards where this is required. Let's kind of do a deep dive into each of the products over here. The first one is the terms of reference. Now, the terms of reference is a milestone product. It is a high-level definition of the overarching definition of the business driver for and the top-level objectives of the project. The primary aim of the terms of reference is to scope and justify the feasibility investigation. It is identified as a governance product because it may be used for purposes such as prioritization of a project within a portfolio. Now, in the official guide, you have greater details about this particular product, but let me just give you some hints in terms of who is responsible, the roles involved in this particular product. Now, terms of reference is a product that could be produced by anybody, but the person accountable or the person approved by is the business sponsor. And this particular product informs the project governance authority, and it is useful for business analysts and technical coordinators. So moving down, you have a business case product. Now, business case is an evolutionary product. It provides a vision and a justification for the project from a business perspective. The business vision describes a changed business as it is expected to be, incrementally and at the end of the project. The justification for the project is typically based on investment appraisal, determining whether the value of the solution to be delivered by the project warrants the cost to produce, support, and maintain it into the future, all within an acceptable level of risk. Now, baselines of the business case are typically created first as an outline by the end of feasibility, then as a basis for approval of development by the end of foundations. It is formally reviewed at the end of each project increment in order to determine whether further work is justified. It should be kept in mind informally throughout the project to inform decisions in line with the benefit delivery and become aware of any potential threats to the viability of project at the earliest points. Well, who is the person responsible for creating this product? It is produced by the business analyst. Who is accountable? It is approved by the business sponsor. And who contributes to the development of this product? It is all project level roles, business and technical advisors, they contribute to the development. And to whom is this particular document produced to? It is produced for the governance authorities and for the entire project team. Moving on to the next product on the list, you have the prioritized requirements list. Now, this is an evolutionary product. It describes at a very high level the requirements that the project needs to address and indicates their priority with respect to meeting the objectives of the project and the needs of the business. Consideration of requirements begins in feasibility, and the baseline of the product requirements list demarcates the scope of the project as at the end of the foundations. After that point, further change will happen naturally in terms of depth as a result of emergence of detail. Changes to the breadth, which is adding, removing, or significantly changing high-level requirements, still needs to be formally controlled in order to ensure ongoing alignment with the vision of the project and to keep control of the scope. So who produces this document? It is a business analyst. Who approves this document? It's a business visionary. Who contributes to the development of this document? It is the business ambassador and the business advisor. And finally, who is this document produced to? It is produced for the entire team. Now, moving on, let's kind of talk about the delivery plan. Now, delivery plan is an evolutionary product. It provides a high-level schedule of increments for the project, and at least for the first increment, the time boxes that make up that increment. It rarely deals with task-level detail unless there are tasks being carried out by people who are not part of the solution development team or before the solution development team is formed. Now, who produces this document? It is a PM, the project manager. Who is accountable or who approves them? It is the business visionary and the technical coordinator. Who contributes to the development of this document? It is SDT, the solution development team, and other roles. Who is this document produced to? It is produced for all project participants and stakeholders. The next document that we have is the management approach definition. Now, this is again an evolutionary product. It reflects the approach to the management of the project as a whole and considers from a management perspective how the project will be organized and planned, how stakeholders will be engaged in the project, how progress will be demonstrated, and if necessary, reported. The product is baseline at the end of the foundations and will only evolve beyond that when circumstances change or if review of the approach identifies areas of improvement. So who produces this document? It is a PM. Who approves it? It is a business sponsor. Who contributes to the development of this document? It is the business visionary and the technical coordinator. And finally, who is this document produced for? It is produced for all project participants and stakeholders. So moving on to the next one, we have the solution architectural definition. Now, this is again an evolutionary product. It provides a very high-level design framework for the solution. It is intended to cover both business and technical aspects of the solution to a level of detail that makes the scope of the solution clear, but without going into a level of detail that constrains evolutionary development. Who produces them? It is the business analyst and the technical coordinator. Who approves them? The business visionary and the project manager. And who contributes? All business and solution roles contribute to the development of the solution architecture definition. And finally, who is this produced for? It is produced for the solution development team. The next one on the slide is the development approach definition. Now, this is an evolutionary product. It provides a high-level definition of the tools, techniques, customs, practices, and standards that will be applied to the evolutionary development of the solution. Importantly, it describes how quality of the solution will be assured. A strategy for testing and review would therefore be a key part of the development approach and described in the development approach definition. So who is responsible for producing this document? It is the technical coordinator who approves them. It is the PM. Who are the contributors? The BA, the business and the technical advisors, along with the DSDM coach. Who is this document produced for? It is produced for the solution development team, the quality managers, auditors, and assessors.